In a small village nestled in the heart of green hills and flowing streams, where the villagers believed that the trees whispered secrets to each other, there lived a woman named Anoha. Her life was a tapestry of sorrow, woven with the threads of loss and loneliness. 4 of her 5 children had died under mysterious circumstances, leaving behind a trail of whispers and accusations. The villagers, once friendly and welcoming, now shunned Anoha. They whispered among themselves, pointing bony fingers at her, accusing her of being a witch. She's cursed, they'd say. She's a devourer of children. Anoha's home, once filled with the laughter of her children, was now a place of darkness and shadow. She lived in solitude, her only companions the memories of her lost children. But there was something else in her home, something that the villagers didn't know about, something that Anoha kept hidden, locked away in a room that was never opened. One day, as the sun beat down on the village, Anoha made her way to a nearby house. She carried a bottle. What do you want? Her neighbor questioned her. Please, I need some kerosene. I am not saying you should give me, I have some money to buy a little quantity for my lantern. The woman yelled at her. I don't sell to outcasts like you. Have you forgotten that we have been forbidden never to relate with you, not buy or sell to you? I know, but it's dark and I really need this kerosene. I can't stay in the darkness, I beg you. Anoha responded pleadingly. Leave. You are not welcome here, witch. The villagers watched her, their eyes filled with suspicion and fear. As she walked, Anoha's thoughts were consumed by her secret. What would happen if the villagers found out? Would they stone her to death, or would they simply shun her further? Just then, a voice pierced the air. Witch! Witch! Someone shouted. Anoha's heart sank. She knew that she had to get out of there, fast. She hurried away, the villagers' angry shouts echoing behind her. She didn't stop running until she reached the safety of her home. Her loyal friend had been watching over her from afar. One day, under the cover of darkness, Abigail snuck to Anoha's house, carrying a basket of food. She knocked softly on the door, and Anoha answered, her eyes sunken with hunger. Abigail, what are you doing here? Anoha asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I brought you some food, Abigail replied, holding out the basket. I couldn't just leave you to starve. Anoha's eyes welled up with tears as she took the basket from Abigail. Thank you, she said, her voice cracking with emotion. You're my only friend, Abigail. Together, they sat down to eat, savoring the taste of the food and each other's company. One day, as the night wore on, Abigail came visiting her friend, but Anoha was nowhere to be found. After waiting for a while, Abigail's curiosity got the better of her. She opened the room where Anoha kept her secret. What she saw made her blood run cold. Lying on a mat, covered in a sheet, was a decaying body, and Anoha dozing off beside it. Abigail's eyes widened in horror as she stumbled backward, tripping over her own feet. She fell hard on the floor, her mind racing with questions. What was Anoha doing with a dead body in her house? Was she a witch, as the villagers had claimed? Abigail's mind was filled with doubts and fears as she scrambled to her feet and rushed out of the house. She ran as fast as she could to the palace, her heart pounding in her chest. She kept shouting, I am not the only one who will see this. A dead body in Anoha's house. God forbid. I won't see this alone. She demanded to see the king, and when she was finally ushered into his presence, she told him everything she had seen. The king's face was a picture of shock and outrage. He summoned his guards and ordered them to bring Anoha to the palace. Anoha stayed speechless. She wasn't sure of the next thing to do. Let me explain, Abigail. I can explain, she shouted desperately. It wasn't until the king's guards arrived at her doorstep that Anoha knew her secret was finally revealed. They accused her of being a witch, of keeping a corpse in her home. Anoha was dragged away, her secret finally exposed. As she stood before the king, Anoha's story began to unravel. I'm not a witch, she pleaded. I'm just a mother who's lost her children. The king's face was a picture of skepticism. What's the meaning of the corpse in your home? He demanded. Anoha took a deep breath before answering. It's my child, she stammered. The seer told me to keep the body for 12 months, to perform a ritual to lift the curse that's been plaguing my family. The king's expression changed from skepticism to shock. What curse? He asked. As Anoha stood before the king and the entire village, she took a deep breath and revealed her secret. I have been keeping the body of my child in my house, she said, her voice steady. But it's not what you think. I've been trying to lift a curse that's been plaguing my family. The villagers gasped in shock, but Anoha continued. Wise king, may you reign forever. I beg that you invite Akoko, the priest from Akiti village, to come and bear witness to my story. What nonsense witness? My king, do not listen to this woman and her desperate pleas. One of the chiefs interrupted her. The king looked at Anoha, his expression unreadable. Anoha's eyes plead with him for mercy. The palace guard was sent to fetch Akoko. After a short while, the atmosphere shifted as Akoko arrived at the palace, his eyes carrying the weight of ancient wisdom. He greeted the king and the villagers and then turned to Anoha. Akoko explained how Anoha ran to him after 4 of her children had died under mysterious circumstances and how she had sought his help to lift the curse. The king listened intently, nodding his head from time to time. Your Majesty, he continued, the curse was placed upon Anoha's bloodline as a result of a fight she had at the marketplace. She swore falsely with the lives of her children, forgetting that the market is a sacred place. What is the solution? The king asked Akoko. Akoko smiled. This is the 12th month, and now that the truth has been revealed, we can bury the decayed body, and the curse will be reversed from Anoha's bloodline. The king nodded, relief written all over his face. I regret banning you and condemning you to be an outcast without a thorough investigation, he said to Anoha. I base my judgment on mere rumors, and for that I am truly sorry. I hereby relieve you of the outcast punishment. Anoha smiled, tears of joy streaming down her face. Thank you, Your Majesty, she said, and I'm just grateful that the truth has finally been revealed, and you would do well to learn from this experience, never to swear falsely in the heat of an argument, Akoko warns her sternly. And with that, the villagers, who had once shunned Anoha, now gathered around her, apologizing and welcoming her back into their community. Abigail, amidst the crowd, felt a pang of guilt. She asked herself if she had done the right thing by telling the king, or she condemned her friend too quickly without hearing her explanation. She rushed to her friend and hugged her tightly. She whispered, "Can you ever forgive me?" Anoha smiled, her eyes shining with tears. You are my true friend. You stood by me when no one else would. The king ordered that the decayed body be buried with dignity, and Akoko performed a ritual to reverse the curse. As the sun set on the village, Anoha was released from her prison. Together, Anoha and Abigail made their way back to Anoha's home. Surprisingly, they met Anoha's beautiful daughter, Nana. Nana has not visited her mother since the death of her sister, who died a year ago. She is the only Anoha child to survive the curse, and Anoha was grateful to have her by her side. The following morning, they prepared to leave the village. Nana wanted her to come and spend some time with her in the city. Anoha turned to Abigail and hugged her tightly. I'll be back soon, she promised. City life isn't for me. I just need to be with Nana, and then I'll return. Abigail smiled and hugged Anoha back. I'll miss you, she said, but I know you need to do this. Take care of yourself. Nana, take care of my friend. She turned to Nana. And with that, Anoha and Nana drove away, leaving behind the village. They disappeared into the horizon, leaving Abigail to wave goodbye, a sad smile on her face.